Hey guys, this market update. The amount of winning is almost inconceivable here, right? Everything is thrown at Bitcoin again and again and again, and it just never gives up and it keeps going. It's like a stubborn mule, right? You can't tell it what to do. And you can chuck a war at it, you can chuck every type of piece of FUD, and the thing just keeps on going, because it's fundamentally the best asset on planet Earth, right? Now, this is a bear market that we're in still, and bear markets have big rallies, right? But looking forward, the amount of winning, like I said, is almost inconceivable, right? We have won, and you're just staring at it in the face, right? And it just happens. And a lot of people make the wrong decisions and this and that, and they day trade, try and day trade the biggest trade of our generation, etc. Look, it's not a bull market yet, right? We had this huge downturn because of the war. We've broken through this resistance. Right? So we're coming up to what I would say is it's just absolutely major, right? If we can continue here, right, and then start to break through here, that basically is, there's just no bear market, right? It's a complete recovery. It's back to trend, and it just feels so good here, right? After a 50-odd, 60% down move, after a war and everyone in the FUD just coming over and over and over again, it feels so much better looking upwards, recovering from that, looking forward with hope, than it does up here when you've got people selling 80,000 blocks of Bitcoin, and it just feels a bit nervous, right? It just feels so much better here. Bitcoin has won completely, totally, unequivocally. We won, and all we have to do is just wait for the price to play out, and for everyone to make mistakes, for everyone to try and trade it or FUD the market, or it doesn't matter anymore, right? Look at this thing. It just keeps going over and over. And you've got people saying it's a bear market and, oh my God, it might go down next month. It's like, hello, look at this thing. Just going again and again, higher and higher and higher. People making mistakes, selling big time. Now, I know you made good profits if you've been in Bitcoin. Just look like 5 or 10 years ahead. This is really important that you don't give this up. This is multi-generational, right? You're looking at the best asset on planet Earth. The only thing, by the way, that can seriously keep going, there is no limit to the amount of capital that can be put into the vessel of Bitcoin, right? Each equity has a limit. Equities have a limit. That's why you invest in an index. An index was a brilliant product because indexation created a vessel that capital could flow into, right? But equities always have this issue about price to earnings and they're expensive or anything else. Bitcoin is the perfect vessel because there's none of that worry, right? It's already knocking on the door of one of the biggest asset classes, right? It's up there with basically the Mag 7 after 16, 17 years. Just think 10 years ahead for this one, right? Bitcoin has won, and it is the vessel that is going to suck in capital, and it's happening right before our eyes. And a big war knocks us down, and everyone gets scared, and then it just goes again. It's brilliant. Now, if you trade crypto, Bitcoin, TradFi assets, or anything else, you can trade them on Bybit. Click the link in the description, sign up. If you make a deposit, they'll give you a deposit bonus to trade with, up to $30,000. I know we all had fun trading our farm animals over the last few years. I didn't trade any farm animals, but this is more mind-blowing to me. And it's that the whole situation is completely insane and mind-blowing. So when crypto was really popular, it was farm animals and cartoon characters. And that was like, everyone was really excited about that for some reason, right? And ironically, no one's interested in the most mind-blowing thing ever, which is Bitcoin as a new asset class, just proliferating through all traditional TradFi pools of capital. Having worked in the industry and seeing, knowing how that works, this is literally mind-blowing to me. This is the biggest thing. Crypto is just a bunch of financial platforms, right? You've got asset issuance platforms like Ethereum, etc., right? They issue assets, digital assets. You can proliferate stocks, bonds, currencies, to more people. That's great, but it's basically the financial sector, right? They're financial platforms, which I think is some going to be great and popular and worth a lot, right? So that's great too. Bitcoin is completely different, right? Truly unique as an asset. And so if you're going to invest in crypto, you might as well also invest in NASDAQ, because it's kind of like, well, if you're going to invest in one sector, you have to invest in multiple sectors, right? So that's fine. It's going to add some growth to your portfolio. Bitcoin specifically is just mind-blowing to me to see this proliferate through the asset itself, right? Because crypto is it's almost like the most interesting about crypto is that it's being used a lot because those are platforms. But as for an asset, for an investor's point of view, seeing specifically a completely unique asset proliferate through TradFi like this, and basically every single bank saying, that's a scam, that's a scam, that's a scam, and then saying, we need to go from 0 to 1 million miles an hour immediately because we're so far behind. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. Corporate adoption index, you go higher. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, right? You have a fixed desirable asset versus fiat currency. That's just what's going to happen over time. Yeah, like Bitcoin's going to zero, right? This is a tweet. Bitcoin continues its collapse, ultimately going to zero. You can really see it here. I mean, what is there left to say, right? Just going again, again, again. And everyone gets super scared. It's going to fall 50%. It fell 50% to 50K, recovered back to 80. I mean, I remember back in the day, it's going to fall to 5,000. It's just the same old thing. It's going to fall to 5,000. And then 10 years time, it's going to fall to 800,000. What a joke, right? Support and resistance, the whole thing is just a curve, right? It's a curve because fiat currency debases 7 to 10% a year. So you just compound that over and over versus absolute scarcity. And this is what happens. And everyone gets totally muddled up in the short term. Please don't miss the forest for the trees, right? Look what is happening here. Very, very obvious. And we just had a kind of weak period of price in relation to trend, which is so unbelievable as an opportunity because that's where you need, right here, these bear markets are the opportunity. We had a bear market and we went down to 50 for a week, recovered. Now we're at 80 again. It just feels good, right? It just feels like this thing is so strong. You can't destroy the thing. So we had a weak period, which is a blessing, right? But that weak period was 50 to 80, right? Instead of weak periods before where it was like 5 or 15, right? So having a weak period at like 70K, 80K, it shows you how strong the asset is, right? I mean, it truly is mind-blowing. Bitcoin is the perfect asset to FUD, right? Because it's so new and people are just so uncertain about these things. You can't really FUD gold, right? You can't FUD it. But that's the opportunity because the FUD is the opportunity. And that's just ironically the opportunity that the least people take. Like when a bear market occurs, everyone gives up, people aren't interested. And when a bull market occurs, when the price is very high in relation to the trend, everyone seems to get interested again. I just absolutely plead with people to understand the longer term game and that returns come from buying prices that are cheap in relation to the trend. Now, you can just buy the asset regularly. If it's going up 30% a year, this white line here, the 200-week moving average going up at 30% a year. So just buy every week. You make 30% a year compounded. But you must buy it in these week periods. Because if you don't, that's where the returns are. So the volatility to the downside, the FUD that can come into Bitcoin is the opportunity. You have to invest at these levels. So for me, again, look, if the price gets up to this red box, it's a bit above trend. This orange line being the trend. This is just my outlook here. I think the orange line is the trend. We're coming right into this resistance zone again. So yeah, I would say this bear market, but above this bull market. Again, if it gets into the red zone or kind of anywhere up here, right? Like this, above this, then the price is pretty high in relation to the trend. All right, so just be careful, mortgaging the house there. Don't do that. But you can just see this thing. Like the thing is just, it is following its trend. It's following its trend. It's going up 30% a year for the 200 week. And the price is near this now, so it's a great opportunity still, right? This is a good price in relation to the trend. It feels expensive if you've been in Bitcoin a while, but I'm just carried the trend on, right? It's an incredible asset. It's hopeful. When people are hopeful again, because people are hopeful that the war's maybe coming to an end or trade is going to reignite, Bitcoin goes up again. Bitcoin is hope, right? And that's the hopeful way to play the future, not gold, right? Gold, it's not hopeful, right? It's defensive. Bitcoin is aggressive, it's hopeful, it's looking towards the future. And there's so much to be hopeful for in the future. Bitcoin, AI, AI reducing prices, increasing abundance, and Bitcoin being able to price that in with its scarcity. It literally is the trade of our generation. What we're potentially staring at as well over the next few years is a Goldilocks scenario. I don't like saying that because there's always things that are going to happen that are extremely bad and something's going to happen and everyone's going to get scared. I get that. I just feel like looking forward, you have a Goldilocks scenario of huge new economic activity in the States, right? AI isn't just programs, right? It's not just like, it's eating software. This is a massive physical industrial revolution that we're seeing as well, with the build out of data centers and energy infrastructure and everything else that's happening. This is what we're looking at, the latest industrial revolution. Those industrial revolutions created massive empires, right? From the UK and the US, unlocks of energy density into useful outputs like intelligence or physical intelligence that's happening with robotics. We are looking at a industrial revolution happening here, right? Now, what we want is huge economic expansion and economic activity. What you also need is cheap energy. The war knocked that off. Big issue. If that sorts itself out, which it looks like it's doing, we got some alerts yesterday in Dubai, by the way, but that's because they're physically opening up the strait now, right? So it's kind of the last gasps of missiles and everything, but they're opening up the strait. That is happening, and you can see Bitcoin's going up because of that. So the market now feels like things are easing there. If you have low energy prices and an industrial revolution, that is insane for risk assets like Bitcoin and the stock market. There's still uncertainty around that. But guess what? Life is uncertain. You're going to invest or not, right? It's all here for us. And the day-to-day, well, something might happen, a missile might get thrown. That happens. You can't say, I'm not going to invest because of that. So you've got a massive industrial revolution happening. Everyone wants oil prices to come down. The US is pumping more oil and gas than it ever has. And you've got the business cycle starting to pick up. A big economic expansion, credit creation. And if you get low energy prices, you can see very, very strong GDP numbers, strong credit creation, currency debasement versus assets. So there is a very good outlook here, potentially, with some uncertainty in between. But guess what? That's what happens. So business cycle starting to pick up. Business cycle starting to pick up. It's very clear. Business cycle starting to pick up. It's very clear. The manufacturing boom underway in America. Global money supply growth. Argentina are actually reducing money supply after their high inflation. So good luck to them. But you can see, the US is at 7, UK at 10, Canada 10. So 10% is your hurdle rate each year, right? That's what you need to make before you actually start making returns. Because if the currency is going up at 10% a year and you're making 3%, you're actually losing money. And that's the scam of bonds, right? It's like you give value to the government and then they give you it back in a currency that they print. And the only way they can give you the currency back is if more currency is printed. Because how do you give currency back unless you print it with the interest you need to print? So what you're doing is getting printed paper. They're saying they'll hold on to your asset and then give you back more of that if they print it, which is obviously dumb, right? So 10% is your hurdle rate. You don't make money before that. Bitcoin is 30, NASDAQ is 18, S&P is around that 10%, right? Maybe a little bit more. I think this is understated for the US as well. I think it's more than this, but this is what you're fighting against, right? So you just can't be in this stuff and you can't be in bonds for the long term, right? If you've got long-term time horizon, 10 years or so, you've got to be in risk assets. I mean, they're just going to go up like they always do. And there'll be a crash and it will fall 50% and everyone will say, it's over and I told you so. And then 6-12 months later, it's just up again, right? Because the show must go on, the currency must be printed. The winning just doesn't stop in this bear market. The price is so irrelevant, by the way. Everything that's happening, right? In the last bear market, everything collapsed. There were like people running illegal hedge funds, stealing everyone's money. And in this bear market, the 8th biggest economy in the world passed a strategic Bitcoin reserve legislation. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just look. Forget the price. The price can't show you what's actually happening. The price is a very bad indicator of the fundamentals, right? Look what's happening here. It's absolutely insane. DTCC to pilot tokenized securities trading in July. Great for crypto. I mean, you couldn't win more than this. You literally couldn't win more than this, right? It's impossible to win more than this, right? You literally can't. Finalized bipartisan text is the culmination of months of hard works for the Clarity Act. Looks like they're going to push it in. So let's see on that one. But how can you win more than that fundamentally? And just forget about the price because it will take care of itself over time. We're kind of at trend, which is great opportunity, right? Even though it's 80, which makes a high price, right? But not in relation to the trend. Not in relation to the trend. 80, amazing, in a bear market. If you trade Bitcoin, crypto, TradFi assets, you can trade them all on Bybit. Click the link in the description, make a deposit. they'll give you a deposit bonus to trade with. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.